Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar, and we're over here with my rather shifty secretary in my Maze Bank offices, because today we're going to go ahead and purchase a vehicle, and it's a rather boring one, I'm afraid. I've come over here to purchase an Ubermacht Revolter, don't you know, a rather appropriate name. Now, the Ubermacht Revolter can be found under the Legendary Motorsport website, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I've got no interest in this car whatsoever. It's an Ubermacht, it's a four-door. Who in God's earth could give a damn? The only reason why I'm purchasing this, ladies and gentlemen, is rather old. The video filmed this a rather a long time ago. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, on special offer, basically $1 million off, you know. And so, okay, for something hell, right, 1.6 million, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, down to I got $1 million off. I'm certainly going to go ahead and take that. Why not? I'll snap their hand off for that. Okay, now speaking of thoroughly disappointing vehicles, ladies and gentlemen, we're driving up there in the Garotti Stinger. Now, I don't know if this is the Stinger GT. I believe it is, ladies and gentlemen, but either way, it's one of the old-fashioned Stingers, and not one of my favorite vehicles. It is a very beautiful looking vehicle, but rather hideous to drive, and if I'm going to drive a hideous Garotti, a hideous steering Garotti, I'd rather go for the GT500, you know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're up at the Hillcrest residence, you know, and okay, there we go. Sodding hell! Oh my good. Okay, well, this is going to be a bit of a drag, this video, ladies and gentlemen. My God, look at that! Could it be any more boring? I'm practically falling asleep looking at it. My God, that's a boring looking vehicle, isn't it? I mean, I don't know why Rockstar insist on putting these kind of cars in the game. Nobody wants them, you know, certainly not I, but I've gone and brought it anyway because I'm an absolute fool. Okay, well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. $1.6 million for a four-door Ubermacht, you know. Well, I mean, God knows what's wrong with me, you know, and God knows what's wrong with Rockstar. Let's have a look at that acceleration, and no, it doesn't have any, does it? We may as well have walked up that hill. Handling, ladies and gentlemen, so atrocious, even at slow speed, we can't get around that top corner. And we'll have a look now down the Vinewood Hills, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at that handling, and my God, is it heavy. Oh my, this is, I mean, $1.6 million, ladies and gentlemen, for this, and straight away it's a thorough disappointment. So much so the camera's cut out there. Okay, I can't remember what happened. Like I say, it was a very long time ago, but presumably, yes, ladies and gentlemen, presumably it was very good. You can see the back end, not very stable there, ladies and gentlemen. More than willing to kick out on you. And I've even gone ahead and done this video at night, ladies and gentlemen. If you're aware, normally go ahead and do these videos in the day, but I care so little for this vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't even bother to wait for daylight. We'll just go and do it at night and get it over and done with. Couldn't give a monkey's behind, to be quite frank with you. Okay, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the standard lap, you know, or at least the initial part of it. What do we think? Woeful, awful, absolutely lamentable, you know. Acceleration non-existent, top end speed didn't have any, and handling, ladies and gentlemen, simply no. Okay, so either way, ladies and gentlemen, we brought it into the custom auto shop, you know, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, a rather limited amount of options that one can actually sort of choose to modify on this vehicle, which is rather surprising, you know. I mean, hold on a minute, $1.6 million, and all we can do is put a livery on it. For God's sake, Rockstar! I mean, they really are taking us for a pack of chumps, aren't they, you know? First of all, we don't want four-door cars. They're absolutely useless. They always have been. They're too large, you know, so they're underperforming. They're always going to be. Their aesthetic styling is absolutely woeful because it has to make consideration for that four-door utility aspect there, ladies and gentlemen. And let's be perfectly frank, absolutely nobody wants them, but if we're going to have to buy them, we'd at least expect some sort of modifications. Surely, ladies and gentlemen, surely that's what we'd expect, at the very least, for $1.6 million. And Rockstar has said, no, absolutely not. You can just have the most boring car on the game for $1.6 million and stuff you. And they've got me, haven't they? Not much I can do now. I've gone and brought the wretched thing. Absolutely appalled at Rockstar, you know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, about the only thing we can really say about this vehicle, you know, obviously we've got the standard upgrades, ladies and gentlemen, the performance upgrades, you know, the transmission, the suspension, the turbo, that kind of thing. We got those liveries, as you saw, it's flipping through there, and it's got a two-tone color. So, oh, how generous of Rockstar, how kindly they are treating us, you know. I mean, it's just absolutely shocking, absolutely shocking. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so what do we think of it? I mean, do I need to tell you what I think of this Ubermacht Revolter? I mean, they certainly gave it a good name, didn't they, the Revolter, because I'm absolutely revolted by this hideous pile of raspberries, you know? Absolutely shocking. I mean, what do we say? I mean, like I say, acceleration didn't have any, you know? Top end speed, no, and the handling awful, acceleration awful, top end speed just awful. I mean, good God, $1.6 million. My God, I've been done now, haven't I? Okay, well, never mind. At least on the bright side, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting towards the end of this section of the video, so we can now, we've completed the modifications, we can now take it back out onto the street, don't you know? And we'll see how she handles now she's been upgraded. Now, many cars are improved, ladies and gentlemen, but I very much doubt that this is going to be. So let's have a look at that acceleration. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's how long it's taken to get to the top of the hill for 1.6. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can go buy a Wagner for this kind of money, you know? You can buy a Truffade Nero, ladies and gentlemen, for this kind of money. You can go and buy 2 Pegassi Zentornos, ladies and gentlemen, for the amount of money that Rockstar are asking for this heap of absolute dog do. Okay, acceleration. Look at that, absolutely woeful. Top end speed, it's not going any faster than a standard car you pull off the street, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it, okay, it's going a little bit faster now, but it's still crawling along. Handling, ladies and gentlemen, heavy, sluggish, I mean, just all around absolutely terrible. The car wallows around the track, you've got no control over it. It really is absolutely hideous, you know. And I think, you know what, we're going to go and put it around one more standard lap, ladies and gentlemen, just to sort of prove it, you know. I just sort of spend rather a long time complaining about the car there. We'll try and give a bit of a review. So, I mean, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you can see with your own eyes the vehicle is simply not moving. It's absolutely bloody atrocious. What a rat! What, I mean, just, they've done me again, haven't they? Rockstar, the swines! Right, okay, sorry, no, it's a review of the car, okay. It's absolutely rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say to you? I mean, it's just awful. I've said acceleration, handling, stability, top end speed, all rubbish across the board. They've charged you $1.6 million for it, and they're laughing at you as you go and buy your next shark card. You know, that's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. That's simply what it comes down to. Okay, so yes, I mean, it's just heavy, woeful, lamentable vehicle, boring to look at. I mean, is there anything positive to say about this car? No, there's not a single thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely hideous, and in my opinion, you know, I mean, 1.6, I paid $600,000, and I'm still fuming that I brought it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for $1.6 million, you really ought to just go and get your head checked, you know. I mean, it's just absolutely hideous, and it's going to embarrass itself around the track, of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we pull out what is this, a benefactor? It's a 4-door, one of the very few 4-doors that Mr. Raccoon owns there, and we decided we're going to start it down the bottom of the track. Now, I was going to check out what this car was called and the price of it, ladies and gentlemen, but I didn't. I overlooked that, didn't I? Absolute wretched shame that, but never mind. Okay, well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put it around the top check. Right, okay, where is it? Right, okay, can't even go into city mode, ladies and gentlemen. Right, into chase cam, right, just in the city mode. Right, okay. Well, it was one of the bottom end, as I say, one of the bottom end benefactors there, ladies and gentlemen. Very cheap, doubtlessly. So yes, we have done it, and yes, there we go. Right, he's just crossing the line now. Okay, how about that? Well, okay, so we took that down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take it on. This is the Komoda, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you know? Recently released. I believe it's 1.275. So $1,275,000 for this vehicle here. Like I say, it is the Komoda, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the more recent vehicles released. It's got very good acceleration, very good top handling. Top speed, very good handling, ladies and gentlemen, and it's doubtlessly, there we can see, it's right up my jacksy there, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go, right, it's sort of dropping away though, isn't it? Okay, right, okay, well, right, I'm sort of surprised there, really, you know. Mr. Raccoon starts making absolutely ludicrous statements, ladies and gentlemen, about, you know, saying that this car, you know, might be quite fast. I say, you're a fool. Pull out the Morgan, Mr. Raccoon. The Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, the overflow Morgan, retailing for $2.1 million, got a phenomenal acceleration, you know, very slow around that top speed track, only 1 minute 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, but it does seem to destroy quite a lot of cars around the track, and we're now going to watch it destroy the Revolter. Okay, as you can see, he's right alongside me there, and this is Morgan. Look at that, there we go, absolutely, it's very strange out of Morgan, very good top speed, ladies and gentlemen, and there we go, as you can see. So yes, there are $2.7 million, $1.72 million speed there. Oh wait, hold on a minute, sodding hell, right, oh right, okay, so Right, the Revolter got in front of it there. Okay, and then Mr. Raccoon, like I say, he's making ludicrous statements, ladies and gentlemen. I shouldn't say this, shouldn't mock him, you know. But he's talking about, hope it's not a GTO killer. He says, I laugh at him. A GTO killer, I laugh at him. You fool! You're an absolute fool, Mr. Raccoon. I laugh at his face, you know. It's not going to take down the GTO. It's certainly not going to take down anything close to it, you know. And then we bring out the Pegassi Zentorno, ladies and gentlemen, and the Revolter gets in front of it, which it really shouldn't do, and my god, it chases it down to the line, and that really is rather unnerving, ladies and gentlemen. So that now does bring us on to the final question of the Garotti Itali GTO, and as I say, Mr. Raccoon is rather pensive, you know, about this race, and I laugh at him still. Yeah, okay, it didn't even beat the Zentorno, you know, it did get close, Mr. Raccoon, but it didn't take the bloody thing. So how on God's earth is it going to stand next to the GTO? And it is sort of standing next to the GTO, isn't it? Right, bloody hell, right? And there we go. Okay, so the GTO's got up into the front there. That's exactly what we'd expect, because the GTO doesn't lose to absolutely anything at all. You're certainly not going to lose to the, what the bloody hell are we seeing? Jesus Christ! Oh, bloody hell, right, Christ almighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're at a four-door Uber mark and we're sitting behind the GTO. Can you believe that? Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, that was too close for comfort. And there goes Mr. Raccoon flying into the sky, you know. Okay, well, we then decided, oh, bloody hell, ladies and gentlemen, if we can do that to the GTO, what about the Krieger? You know, so we go and pull out the Benefactor Krieger. Now, as you may well be aware, we normally end the video by this point, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm sure you'll agree, this is a rather shocking vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this four-door monstrosity keeping up with the GTO, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest car around this track, without question, ladies and gentlemen, beats the Benefactor Krieger, you know, 9 times out of, well, more times than it loses, you know, and yet we see the Benefactor Krieger, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely destroying the Revolver. So that makes no sense whatsoever, but Mr. Raccoon wants to go and do one more test, don't you know? And so he goes in and brings out the Pegassi Zarasso, and I can't imagine why on earth he's chosen to do this. He says he wants an excuse to sell it, you know, and he says if it loses to this four-door monstrosity, that's a good enough excuse for him, and I can sort of see his sense there. Okay, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put it around and see what it does. I should also point out, by the way, all the other vehicles are being driven by Mr. Raccoon, you know. His name is the Bromby. He has a channel of his own. It is called the Bromby. If you type that into YouTube, you should be able to go and find that when you go. There's got rather some good videos on there. Okay, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Zarasso putting up a very reasonable fight considering how we stacked them. Whoops, sorry about that. Yes, how we went against the GTO there. Okay, so that's sort of, we're going backwards now, ladies and gentlemen. We sort of wonder, well, hold on a minute. If it can do that to the GTO down the straight, you know, what's it going to do down the top speed test track, you know? Now, the GTO can make it down here at about 51, 52. The Krieger about 50, 51, although the GTO does beat the Krieger around the track. And now we think, well, it's going to have to some phenomenal top speed to keep up with the GTO, surely, ladies and gentlemen. And it turns out we're second, and it turns out 59.008. And you can see there the GTO, yes, getting 51. Okay, so what do we think of it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I mean, what the bloody hell can you think of it? 1.6 million, and it keeps up with the GTO. That's shockingly fast, ladies and gentlemen. Shockingly fast. Mr. Raccoon tries to set me on fire, and that's not going to work, is it? Now he's shooting my car, and I can't imagine why. Should you buy it? No, I bloody well wouldn't, but it's confusing car already. What's he done? What's that over? Oh, sorry, hell, bloody hell. Yes, well, I do hope you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you very much for watching.